You know, we're clicking and typing all day long. But have you ever stopped to think about what's actually going on inside that metal box? Today, we're going to pop the hood and take a look at the secret life of your computer, the actual physical parts that make everything happen.
I mean, it really does feel like magic, doesn't it? You hit a key and a letter just appears, instantly. But behind that one simple action, there's this incredible, super fast dance of events, all happening in perfect sync. So let's pull back the curtain and see how the trick is done.
Okay, so to really get our heads around this, let's use an analogy. Forget all the complicated tech for a second and just picture your computer as a tiny, unbelievably efficient office. We're going to follow one little piece of information as it goes on a journey through this office, where it gets handled, processed, sent out, and then filed away.
And those are the 4 core jobs of our little office. It's that simple. Input, processing, output, and storage. This is the foundation for, well, everything your computer does. So let's start at the very beginning, right at the front door.
So first things first, information has to get into the system somehow. That's the job of input devices. And in our office analogy, this is the mailroom. It's where all the incoming data, every letter, every command, every memo, arrives to get sorted.
Now, this mailroom deals with 2 kinds of mail. First, you've got your direct input. Think of this like a standardized test sheet that a machine can read instantly. It's already in a format the computer understands. But then you have indirect input. This is more like a barcode. It's packed with information, but it needs a little translation. It has to be scanned and converted before the rest of the office has any idea what it means.
So, who are the mailroom clerks doing all this work? Well, they're the devices you're using right now. Your keyboard is there to type out all the messages. Your mouse is pointing to things and telling the computer what to do. And your scanner, that's like a digital photocopier, taking real-world documents and turning them into files our little office can actually work with.
All right, once the data is sorted in the mailroom, it gets sent upstairs to the most important place in the whole building, the manager's office. This is the central processing unit, the CPU. It is the absolute brain of the operation. This is where all the thinking, the decision-making, and the real heavy lifting gets done.
Now, our manager is actually a 2-part team. First up is the control unit. Think of it as the ultimate project manager or a traffic cop. It looks at the incoming instructions and tells all the other parts what to do, when to do it, and where to send the results. Next to it is the arithmetic logic unit, or ALU. This is the resident genius, the math whiz. It does all the calculations and makes all the logical comparisons, like is this bigger than that, or do these 2 things match?
Of course, even the smartest manager can't juggle everything in their head. They need a desk, right? A workspace for all the documents and projects they're currently focused on. And in our computer office, that desk is called primary memory.
And this desk has 2 very different sections. On one side, you've got RAM, which stands for Random Access Memory. This is your active workspace. It's super fast, super flexible, and it holds everything you're working on right now. But, and this is a big but, it's volatile. That means it needs power to remember anything. The second you turn your computer off, poof, everything on that desk is gone, wiped clean. On the other side is ROM, or read-only memory. Think of this as the laminated, bolted-down instruction manual for the office. It holds the really essential stuff, like how to start up in the morning. And it's non-volatile, which means that information is there permanently, power or no power.
Okay, so our manager is smart and maybe a little impatient. To work even faster, they have this little trick. For the most urgent, most common tasks, they keep a small, super fast notepad right on their lap. In computer terms, we call this cache memory.
Basically, this cache is a high-speed buffer. It's for keeping the most frequently used information literally an inch away from the processor. This way, the manager doesn't have to waste precious nanoseconds reaching across the big desk, the RAM, to grab something they use all the time. So what's the catch? Well, this memory is crazy expensive, which is why you only get a tiny amount of it. It's all about one thing, making access instantaneous. Okay, so the manager has done all the hard work. The calculations are done, the decisions are made, now what? Well, 2 things need to happen. The results have to be delivered, and a copy needs to be filed away for safekeeping. And that brings us to our final 2 stops, the outbox and the filing cabinet. So how does our office deliver its results? In 2 main ways. You've got your soft copy. This is like a message you see on a screen or hear from a speaker. It's right there, but it's temporary. It's transient. Then you've got your hard copy.
This is the physical thing, the printed out report you can actually hold in your hand, mark up with a pen, and stick in a folder.
Remember how that big RAM desk gets wiped clean every single time you shut down? Well, that's a problem, isn't it? You need a place to save your finished projects permanently, and that's where storage comes in. This is our office's massive, long-term filing cabinet.
And man, have these filing cabinets changed over the years. We started with older magnetic technology, like spinning hard disk drives. Then we moved on to optical things, like CDs. And now, most of our computers use these unbelievably fast solid-state drives. But you know what they all have in common? They are all non-volatile. They hold onto your data securely, even when the power is completely off.
And there you have it. That's the whole journey. Information comes in through the mailroom, that's input. It gets worked on in the manager's office, that's processing. The results are sent out through the outbox, output. And everything important is saved in the giant filing cabinet, storage. It's a simple, seamless, and incredibly powerful loop.
Literally every single thing you do on a computer, every click, every tap, every single command, it all follows this exact same path. It's a fundamental system that has completely changed our world and unlocked so much human potential. Which really just leaves you wondering, doesn't it? What's the next generation of hardware going to make possible?